What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and I can already hear it in the comments. I can already hear people typing, "Oh, it's not a Glock 19X? It's not worth it then. Oh, it's not a Glock 29 10mm? It's not going to get the job done." Can already hear it, so it is what it is. Put the comments down below. I need them for the algorithms anyways. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Anyways, over here I do pick up a decent amount of handguns for reviews, comparison purposes, testing, that whole sort of thing, right? And every now and then you find one that you didn't know you actually needed. A lot of times we buy them just to buy them. Sometimes we have, safe queens that just sit in our safes and we never even shoot them. At least I know I do. I have some firearms I think are too beautiful to even take out, and it just is what it is. I'm not going to carry them. And then you have your firearms that are your workhorses, that you carry every single day during the week for work. You have your firearms that you love to death, that you trust your life with and trust your family's life with, that really matter to you, but are nothing special, right? There's a Glock that I just picked up. It's not a new Glock by any means, and you also never hear anyone talk about it anymore, that I didn't really know I needed, and there's a reason why. The Glock 42. Now, I have a Glock 43, so you're probably saying, what is the point? The Glock 43 is actually much bigger. This is the smallest production Glock, and that's what I love about it. If you know me, I love to pocket carry. I pocket carry often because I try to avoid certain situations where, you may be printing with a larger Hellcat or Glock 26 or Glock 19, and you have an anti-gunner parent nearby that just wants to get on you, or someone at the park to say something weird, or even at once at Chipotle I had someone say something to me about printing. You just want to avoid situations like that, or you just want to go on a bike ride or a walk or be active. The Glock 42. Now the reason you're saying, oh, well, you have all these other pocket pistols. I have the LCP Max, Beretta Pico, Taurus Spectrum, Ruger LCP, or wait, sorry, I already said the LCP Max. Smith & Wesson Bodyguard, stuff like that. But with this, you get Glock reliability. And I'm just so used to Glocks, and there's a reason why this is the Glock I didn't know I needed. I have a Glock 26, Glock 45, Glock 43X, Glock 48, Glock 29, Glock 30, and I love them all, right? They all have their place. But my Glock 26 is the Glock I carry the most, then my Glock 27, stuff like that. But sometimes those are just too big. But sometimes you still want Glock reliability and Glock peace of mind. Glock doesn't sell you the coolest, newest thing, the best functioning, or like the best looking thing. Sorry, it is the best functioning thing. They don't sell you the FCU, all this crazy cool designs and stuff like that. They just sell you the same looking thing that's been looking like for, 30 years now, 30, 40 years. They sell you the same exact thing. But the thing is, you're paying for the peace of mind. You're paying for this right here. That stamp of approval. That stamp of approval means reliability. It means a firearm that's going to function. It's going to be practical. You're going to be able to take it down, clean it, swap out every part if you have to in under 5 minutes if you really needed to. It just is a firearm that's going to go bang every time. It can get dirty. It can run and get wet. All sorts of things. It doesn't rust. It doesn't have issues. And that's why I needed a pocket pistol size Glock. Because here's the thing. A lot of the pocket pistols out here, like the LCPs, have issues. Let's just be real. Smith & Wesson Bodyguards, the amount of people in the comments I've had saying that they've had issues at theirs is unbelievable, and I couldn't believe it. Taurus Spectrum, everyone crapped on because it's a Taurus. Mine is ran flawlessly, but because it's a Taurus, people crap on it, and they say that the reputation of the Taurus Spectrum isn't very good. So when it comes to pocket pistols, you're not left with a lot. Then there's the Beretta Pico. It's really well built. It's not going to rust. It's stainless steel, all this, but the trigger is just... There's a defensive trigger. There's a Glock trigger. Then there's like a more defensive trigger that's going to be a little heavier, but still a good trigger. I mean, the Pico is just not even on the spectrum. The Pico is just trash. Like, it just is what it is. On top of that, you have the Glock Safe Action System. Even if you have a round in the chamber in your pocket while you're running around, jumping, playing hockey, doing whatever it is you're doing, nothing is going to let this firearm go off. And that's because that striker is basically 3/4 of the way ready to go, so it requires you to actually physically pull that trigger. And you have that trigger dingus right there, right? So you have all these safeties. You have, I believe, 3 internal safeties that are going to prevent you from ever letting this thing go off. And guess what? You don't need a manual safety like the bodyguard in your pocket or anything like that. It's a Glock. It can't go off on its own by itself. So that is the reason why the Glock 42 is the Glock I never knew I needed. And I know there's going to be people saying, oh, 380, it's not good. You can't use it. Well, I wouldn't recommend using 380 in the winter if you live somewhere cold where people are going to be wearing Carhartt jackets and bibs and, big jackets, I wouldn't recommend it. But there are some specialty ammos out there like Civil Liberty Defense rounds, Underwood Extreme Penetrators, Extreme Defenders, that are built for that and made for that. And yes, they may not be the most effective, but trust me, any firearm is better than no firearm at all. And 82% of all self-defense encounters, the person just has to say they have it or show it and not shoot it. So 18% of the time a round is let go. The other 82% of the time it's just about having it on you and possibly presenting it. But carry a backup mag, carry 2 backup mags, carry one in the car, carry one in the backpack. Just make sure you're ready to go. And then the smaller firearm you have, just train more with it. It is what it is. It's going to shoot just like a Glock. It has very little recoil. It is very, very fast. People often look at a .380 pocket pistol and say, oh, it's going to be too snappy. There's a difference between like a Micro 9 and 9mm and then stepping down to a .380 in a very small setup. These have like no recoil. They're actually really fun to shoot. I really enjoy shooting my pocket pistols at the range. I have videos of it up, of me, like literally you can see the joy on my face because there's power, but it's reasonable and controllable power. And like I said, good defensive rounds will be just fine. But even if you just want to carry it in the summertime or whatever the case may be, it's just something that you can grab. You're going out the door real quick. Hey, I'm going to the mailbox. Hey, I'm going to this place. Hey, I'm running to go grab a gallon of milk. I'm just going to grab this. I'm going to be in a generally safe area. Just, as long as you're planning out where you're going, what you're doing, what you're carrying, you're going to be fine. That's just the general rule of things. It's just not training and not being prepared that's going to cause issues. So this is why I needed this thing. This thing is becoming my pocket carry of choice. It's not as small as the rest of them, but definitely shootable, reliable, and so on. So that is the Glock I didn't know I needed. Thanks for watching.